I've had to keep re-recording this because I literally don't even know where to begin. So, I wanted to make this video and do like a little life update in a way, or more of like an explanation of what's going on in my life and kind of like an explanation of my health. I know I've talked about my health on here a couple times, but I was pretty vague about it. I tried to make this video for like a while now, but the 2 times that I made it, I just was not happy with it. So, yeah. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I don't really consider this a story time, but yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. Before I get into any of this, like any details, I'm just gonna start off by saying I have had these vomiting episodes that no one has really been able to figure out. I vomit almost every day. It depends how many times. Every day is different, but I usually vomit at least once a day. There are some days that I don't get sick. Those days are amazing, and I try and take advantage of those as much as I can. But I never really know when I'm gonna get sick, when I'm not. It is kind of linked up with my cycle and my hormones and stuff. These vomiting episodes have put me in the hospital a couple of times, but none of them have been as bad as what happened the other night. So 2 nights ago, it was early Thursday morning around 2 a.m. I woke up to excruciating back pain in my lower left side. And I've had pain before, usually associated with this kind of stuff, but usually it's on my right side, and I've never had anything on my left side, ever. But I woke up and I had the worst pain in my left side. It was to the point I felt like I couldn't breathe. And soon after that, I began vomiting, and it turned into one of the severe vomiting episodes that I've had before. So I woke Tyler up, and I kept getting sick, and he kept asking me, do I need to take you to the ER? And I was trying to kind of write it out and see if maybe if I just got sick a couple times, maybe if I got whatever out, I'd be fine. I was not fine. So it got to the point Tyler was we're taking you to the ER. And then at that point, I started going in and out of consciousness. I don't really remember much from parts of it. This happens a lot when I have these vomiting episodes, but I go in and out of consciousness. I black out, pass out. I get tingling, a tingling sensation all over my body. I don't know. It's the most miserable, helpless feelings I've ever felt. So at that point, we're going to the ER. So it's 3 or 4 a.m. and we're going to the ER. We get there, and long story short, I've never puked as much as I puked the other night. Some people will be like, oh, well, you're just puking. Well, when it's to the point that the hospital can't get it under control, it takes multiple things to try and get it under control. And then even after that, you're still vomiting. It was to a point I was throwing up more than I was breathing. I don't know how I had so much in my stomach, so much stomach acid, but I just kept repelling. It was my body was shutting down, or I was going into shock or something. To explain where we're at now, last week before all of this started, I got results from a hormone test that I did, and it showed I had no progesterone in my body, pretty much, none. And then my adrenal glands weren't functioning properly, and I have an adrenal insufficiency. I was put on some progesterone cream, but that was really it. So I just kind of went on about my day, and then fast forward to Thursday. Now I'm being referred to a ton of endocrinologists. I'm getting more tests done, but pretty much like it's an adrenal insufficiency. We don't think it's Addison's disease. There's primary and secondary adrenal insufficiencies, and we believe maybe mine is more secondary. So I am now on like steroids, I'm on hormone replacement, and I'm praying that this helps. It's like when I go to the hospital, it's not like things get solved. Like when I go to the ER, it's not like things get solved. They don't have any idea what is going on. Like, I'm like so tired of doctors like not knowing what to tell me, not knowing what to do with me. And I mean, if they don't, like, I just wish they'd be like, look, I don't know what to do with you. Instead, like, I just go in a circle. I've been misdiagnosed with so many things. I've been put on so many different things for misdiagnosed ailments and diseases. I've been misdiagnosed with Crohn's disease, gastroparesis, kidney issues. Like, it just, the list just goes on and on and on and on. And there's no real answer or no real resolution from any of it. Like, I am praying that this is I mean, it does make sense. All of this makes sense. But, just had a moment there. I'm praying that I get some sort of answer or some sort of resolution from this, or I don't know. I'm 24 years old and I'm on a bunch of hormone replacement steroids. I look at people my age, around my age, whatever, and I see all these amazing things that they're doing. They're graduating from college, they're getting their degrees, they're starting their dream future jobs, whatever. And my biggest accomplishment is not getting sick at least once a day. I sit back and I watch people my age do what a normal 20, almost 30-year-olds do. And here I am, like, getting sick and not being able to do anything for my life. I recorded like a spend the day with me vlog that I've been needing to edit. And in that vlog, I was going to tell you all like the exciting news that I was starting back part-time at my job. Like the job that I loved so much. And I started back on Monday, and let's just say Monday didn't go so well. And then fast forward to Thursday, and now I am not going to be working, at least until something is figured out. So like I said, like, I can't function like a normal person my age should be. Like, I can't do the things that I should be doing for my life, like with my life. I'm trying to, I genuinely am trying, but when you can't even trust your own body, it's very hard. I think this is why I have turned to YouTube and making videos, because, you know, if there's anything I can do while I'm at home in between throwing up and getting sick, it's make videos and feel like I have some sort of purpose. I decided in this video, I'm just going to talk about all the weird things that have happened since I turned 18 with my health. And maybe someone out there will understand it or know what in the heck is wrong with me. This all began when after I turned 18, I started vomiting a ton to where I dropped down to like 80 pounds. I couldn't keep anything down, like food or liquid. Come to find out, like, my gallbladder wasn't functioning. It was like functioning at 10% or something like that. I was in the hospital for a week and they were trying to figure out why my gallbladder like was failing. I was getting really sick. They had me on like a 10-minute morphine drip. Every 10 minutes I could hit this button for morphine. I was in so much pain that I couldn't do anything. The hospital that I was at was like a teaching hospital, so I had like all these residents and stuff in there, and there was one day it was hurting so bad. I was like hitting the button, the resident was like standing there. I was like, it hurts so bad. I'm like screaming and like crying and like puking and just like he didn't know what to do. I probably traumatized him. I'd be surprised if he continued to be a doctor after he tried to treat me. I feel like any doctor who has like come in my path I am enough to make them want to retire and never want to practice medicine again. But anyways, so they didn't take my gallbladder out after like a week of playing games. So my parents took me out of that hospital. It took 3 trips to the ER for them to finally be like, okay, this girl is extremely sick. I finally had an ER doctor. He was like, you were like 80 pounds. I was almost under 80 pounds. And he was like, you were like deteriorating. I can't talk. You are withering. I can't talk. He was just like, you're sick. You need to be admitted. And they took out my gallbladder. After I got my gallbladder out, I was doing fine for them. I mean, I was doing good. And then fast forward 3 years later, maybe 2 years later, I started having excruciating pain in my abdomen. I was diagnosed with endometriosis. It's nothing severe, but I mean, it's like mild to moderate. Actually, I have all of this written down. A timeline, because I'll forget things. Okay, so I should say that like since I was a child, I've always been sick. I mean, I've always had issues with my stomach. I've always had issues with throwing up. My mom took me to the doctor a lot to try and get it figured out, like gastroenterologist when I was younger. And I mean, we found some like food allergies, but really no clear reason. So then I got my gallbladder removed in 2012. And then in 2015, that was when I had my second surgery and was diagnosed with endometriosis. So then in 2016, that's when I started vomiting once a day, at least once a day. I've been to a couple different gastroenterologists. That's where I've been misdiagnosed with all sorts of stuff. Oh, excuse me. Oh, shit. 2017, I started having this weird nerve pain near one of my incision sites. And come to find out, I had like a neuroma or whatever, or nerve damage, I don't know. They removed it, that was fine. And fast forward to November of 2017, so this last November. That's when like the vomiting episodes started getting really, really bad. I was at work one day and I had been vomiting like multiple times and I was just trying to push through. And it got to the point I ended up like passing out, and they called the squad, like the rescue squad, and took me to the hospital. Nothing really came out of that. Yeah, I've had like vomiting episodes like that pretty often, but none of them compared to the one that I had 2 nights ago. Like, that was the worst. And then I had another scope and colonoscopy this last January. I don't know. Some other like weird things that I've noticed. I get these really weird like cysts. I can't say cysts. I feel like I have a speech impediment. Cysts. Okay. I get cysts. I can't say cyst. Oh my gosh, like plural cysts. Just you guys get it. I can't talk, so sorry. I get those usually when I ovulate. I had one really nasty one in my armpit that I had to get cut out, and it was disgusting. Sorry to the doctor at my job who had to cut it out because stuff was flying. And I know that's gross, but when I take showers, I noticed I get this really weird pain and like it's like back here area. And physical activity makes it worse. Physical activity makes the vomiting worse most of the time. Like, swell up really easily. Like, I get bloated and have like water retention really easily. People have made some comments about me gaining weight, and you know, like, it's really out of my control at this point. My weight has fluctuated so much throughout all of this. I'm trying to think of anything else weird that's happened. I've had like my muscles randomly lock up on me. My muscles randomly, like, if you were to fall asleep like this and all of the blood rush down, that's how it feels. Yeah, that's really all I can think of right now. I had one doctor tell me I need to go to Johns Hopkins or the Mayo Clinic, which Really don't want to go to Johns Hopkins or anything like that. I want to try and give these endocrinologists a chance. That's a summary of my health, pretty much, and where we're at, like how we've gotten to where we're at now. If you guys want to know more, you can ask questions. I don't know. I wish I had more answers for you guys, but I don't even have them myself. So hopefully in the next life update I have for you guys, things will be more positive. I don't know. We shall see. If you guys enjoy listening to this crap, then let me know. I don't know. If you guys want to hear more, and if you like listening to how much of a mess that my life is, then stay tuned, I guess. Literally fits this channel so well. Like, just the mess. Like, my life is a mess. Again, if you like watching my life just spiral out of control, then make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell down below so you can see all my upcoming videos, all my upcoming meltdowns and all that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe and like, comment, whatever. Do what you want down below. Show your support. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.